Hey, it's the local spotlight show here at WJBM Studios in Jerseyville, Illinois, the voice of the Tri-Counties. I'm Chris Lorton. I am your host today. And before we get into our this interview and I introduce my next guest, I'd just like to mention that in the last year and a half, we've done over 360 spotlight interviews and over 70 outdoor shows. And if you missed one, you can always go to our webpage. And if you go to Listen on Demand, you can look those up. We even have a directory so you can find out, thumb through them and figure out who you want to listen to. And we also now, we are on YouTube. We video the interviews, as many as we can, and edit them and put them on WJBM YouTube channel. So we got that going for us. And with me, who I got going for me today, is Doug Smith. Welcome, Doug.
Oh, boy. Thank you.
Now, Doug, Jerseyville boy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Born and bred.
Yeah?
Yep.
And
come home from the hospital and live in the same house I born in, I still live in.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was born in the hospital, but come home to the house that I live in.
That's
when
cool.
I was born, yeah.
You know that house inside and out, huh?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It changed a while because when Dad died, we gutted it and redone the inside, but still the same house.
Now, you did a little farming and when you were younger?
Yeah, not necessarily farming, but I sold livestock feed.
And
I did help farm.
And you got
my
into
father-in-law.
And you got into pest control.
Yes, sir.
And been doing great in it for how many years you been in Smith Pest Control?
Probably 40 years.
No kidding.
Yeah, probably a little longer than that. Yeah. Just something that struggled making ends meet for a long time, and when social media come around, things kind of word spread faster, and we kind of lit up and get more than we can handle now.
Yeah,
times,
busy as can be.
We're 1,000% honest and as fair as we can be. If anybody's not happy, we'll make it right.
I know. I've always found that you to be that way.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. And you get the job done, and that's
the
main
mission.
thing. When people when they have pest issues, whatever it be, whether it be bugs or mice or whatever. What else do you handle?
Everything. Bed bugs, termites.
And bed bugs, termites, all that stuff.
Yeah, we're out to, personal satisfaction is what I live for. Naturally I got to make a living, so I charge for it.
Sure.
But if somebody's not happy, we're going to make you happy, give you money back, whatever it takes, because that's just how we roll.
Yeah, and you can't go wrong with that type of attitude. As a customer,
Nope.
You can't go wrong.
Nope.
And people know it.
And if there's a bad word out there, I haven't heard it because I would have went out of my way to address it, and make it right. Just that simple.
Now, I noticed you're dressed in camouflage today, and you are into hunting. You've been a hunter.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what kind of hunting?
I've done every kind of hunting you can imagine, from
Really?
ducks to deer to rabbits to quail to coyotes to you name it. I've done it all. And it's hard to do it all, so you kind of settle into one thing that you like the most. And,
And basically around here, right?
Oh, yeah.
This area.
I mean, I've been to Colorado and Dakotas and things, doing different types of hunting and things like that. But yeah, 98% of it's here.
Okay. And one thing we're going to touch on today, because you're into coyote hunting.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, with why coyote hunting? I mean, why coyotes? Because now coyote. Tell me a little bit about a coyote.
I kind of settled into coyote, just to answer your first question a little bit, is I like dogs. I've bird hunted with dogs. I've had my own dogs. I've had dogs for years. And it's about the dogs to me, but coyotes do need controlled, and it's a sport. I see somebody go out and knock a golf ball around on a golf course, and I think, well, that's the dumbest thing in the world. But then I relive myself to go out and listen to a dog bark is even dumber. But it's my passion, to hear a dog run, beagle run a rabbit, coyote dog run a coyote, bird dogs point a bird. It's a dog thing for me, and they're not just dogs to me. They're part of me, and I take good care of them. They're extremely good pets. I I live for my dogs. They all got insulated dog houses, stuffed full of hay. I got what they call hound heaters in them, and doors on them that the dogs know how to open. I keep them 55 degrees when it's below zero outside. I just love my dogs. And believe in taking care of them.
How many dogs you got?
I got 5 hounds now. I've had as high as 10, but I'm kind of stupid over my dogs, so I'm kind of getting lower on them because I don't want to get a dog that I can't outlive, because I'd worry about what would happen to him when I'm gone. So I'm just that dumb about my dogs. So
Well,
so yeah, it's. I'm 65, and it's coming to an end one of these days, and the dog lives, 12 years, 10, 12 years.
Oh, you've got some years left.
I know it, but I hate to take that chance,
Yeah.
When you get a dog, it's not just, to me, a dog. It's a commitment, and you treat him fair and enjoy him, and he pours his heart and soul out for you, and it's just something to admire and watch,
So, coyote dogs, are they a certain breed?
I have July foxhounds that run coyotes, and there's walker hounds. There's what they call trigs. There's treeing walkers, which are treeing coons, but these are what they call running walkers. Yeah, there's several different varieties, but I just kind of I had walkers and different kinds, and I've kind of settled into the Julys, which my Julys are not just your run-of-the-mill dog. They're bred right. I've got them from all over the country. I even went to Canada and bought a dog.
Really?
He was 9 years old, and I give $1,500 for him.
I'll be darned.
Because I wanted his blood.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. But why coyote? Why coyotes? Why do you hunt coyotes?
Well, there again.
Because you don't eat them, and how about the furs?
I did have some kids eat one time, so it was pretty good if you didn't know what he was eating.
You did?
Yeah. Kyle, my nephew that's passed, and Mark Hayes and some of them, they skinned the back straps out of a coyote and said you'd eat the heck out of it if you didn't know what it was.
I'll be darned.
Yeah. But no, you don't eat them.
How about the fur?
It used to be a point in time where it was worth quite a bit.
Yeah.
But, with the modern day things, it's just went by the wayside. Coons used to be worth $50 a piece, and coyote hides has went down. The coyote hide is welded to him. It's a job to skin one. It takes probably half an hour. And at one time, if you ended up with 100 coyotes a year, probably just guessing 40 of them would be worth skinning, because it's like people with a fur coat. If you wear it all the time, it's going to wear out. Mm-hmm. And the coyote puts on his new fur every fall, and as the winter goes on, it gets worn. So they grade them. Your father-in-law and brother-in-law and them was in that business. And so they just go downhill as time goes on from wearing them all the time. So if you get 100, say 40 of them's worth skinning, just say 20 of them might bring $7, $10 maybe if you look. Probably not that much. And then you go on down the hill where 5 of them would be a very good shape and maybe bring $10 or $15. So it's not really worth the effort. The kids that I've introduced to coyote hunting and stuff, if they're willing, I'd help them and we'd skin them. And, if they could pick up 10 or 15 bucks a coyote, they're making 20, 30 bucks an hour, by doing it. And so, yeah, we still do that. So,
But basically, you hunt the coyote and kill the coyote because it kills other animals.
The coyote didn't choose to be here. He was appointed. But, yeah, he's an honoring devil.
What do you mean appointed?
God put him here for a reason, to help keep other things in check, or, it's just a cycle of life in the wild, and everything. The coyote's at the top of the food chain, so he really has no predators, but like a rabbit, he's the prey, a deer, he's the prey, so he's put here to keep things in check, even though hunters rabbit hunt, keep them in check, or deer, keep them in check, because it's just known fact that if things get out of hand, Mother Nature's going to take care of it.
Well, at one time, was there a predator that ate the coyote?
Well, not around here, probably. Out west, yeah, the wolves and things like that.
Oh, wolves would.
Yeah, they're pack animals. They're competing for food and things. So yeah, a food source. If there's a dead elk and the wolves are eating on it, coyotes ain't gonna get their chance till the wolves are done.
Is there a concern about hunting coyotes, because it is a sport, about maybe the coyote going extinct?
Oh, absolutely not. He's the most adaptable creature there is. I mean, he's in the big cities. I mean, they're just so adaptable and so intelligent.
In the big cities?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're thick in the big cities. They've learned to adapt, to eat junk, garbage, whatever. They steal people's pets, little dogs and cats.
Okay. Hey, if you're just joining us, I got Doug Smith with me. He's with Smith Pest Control, and he's also an avid coyote hunter. And we're talking hunting, talking a little coyote hunting. I can't understand a coyote existing in Chicago.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't understand. Where's he living? Where's he hiding?
Anywhere he wants to. YouTube it. Look at it. Yeah, they're all over in the cities, and they've become more of a threat there because they're used to human interaction. They aren't scared of people. They're not that it happens a lot, but yeah, they'll attack kids and different things. They're used to coming up on people's porches to feed their dogs and steal their dog food and dig into garbage, and they do eat rodents and things like that, and the cities are full of them.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah.
How about around here? What do they? Are they dangerous to people, Kyle?
Not really. I mean, yeah, on a rare occasion, but no. I mean, a coyote's scared of you. I mean, I live right there on West Carpenter, there by Casey's, and I've seen him in Paul Rose's field behind the shop numerous times. They come into town. You get up early, and like George, he comes down, drinks coffee. He'll see one cross Pearl Street there, just west of the courthouse, and things like that, even here in town. Yeah.
I'll be darned.
We've actually even had our dogs run coyotes into town, And so, yeah, they can live anywhere, any place, anytime, And no, there's not much of a threat of them being extinct.
I remember I got a vivid memory when I was heading east outside of Jerseyville, going down a rural road, and there was snow on, okay? And I had this job site that I was going to, and I'm going down the road, and I look off in this farm field, and there's this coyote running, and man, was he fast. He was, oh man, I was like, oh my. And then in fact, I think there was a couple of them.
Right.
And they were running. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, they can scoot. Yeah.
They were fast. So, can a dog catch a coyote?
They can. Typically, it all revolves around scent conditions, how good the scent conditions are in order for the dog to be able to smell it. Now, a dog that can, on a good scent condition day, he can average 11, 12, maybe 13 mile an hour running a coyote. And a coyote's just not big for long distance. He's super fast for the first mile or two. His livelihood's short spurts, So if these dogs get after one and scent conditions are good, yeah, they'll put one in the brush pile or whatever. It usually takes 15, 20 miles, hour to an hour and a half for him to wear out, and they bay him up, So, yeah, and then on days they can't run very good or smelling very good, they can only average, say, 8 or 10 mile an hour. That coyote can run all day. You got to get him hot. You got to get his tongue out in order for them to put enough pressure on him to wear him down,
Now, when you're hunting coyotes, are they usually by themselves, or are they in groups?
It depends on the time of year. Typically, a female will have some pups early in the year, and they will hang with her from spring till fall while she's teaching them the ropes on how to hunt and stuff. So, yeah, they can be in 3 or 4 in a group. They've learned how to pack up and do their hunting when it comes to deer and things like that.
Are they a threat to cattle?
I mean, a farmer might argue with me, but no, I don't think so. Maybe a newborn calf, maybe. But I think what happens, in my opinion, to give the coyote some credit, when a cow has a calf, she'll have her afterbirth, and I think they're more after that, and the cow is protecting the calf from the coyote, and I think the cow might stomp a calf, in the process of protecting it. And then once, if that's the case, if she does stomp it, it dies and they eat it. So maybe a farmer would typically think that they took a calf down, and they could. You know, they're vulnerable, but in my opinion, probably not. You know,
So generally, what is a coyote looking? What's its prey?
Yeah, you know, he can prey
Deer,
on
of
anything.
course.
Yeah. I mean, they have to kind of learn to hunt them, but they're mainly a rodent type thing: squirrels, mice, voles. You know, just different things. But they'll feed on anything. You know, they learn to adapt. Like I say, they're an adaptable character.
Very adaptable.
You know? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen them 4 times, 5 times in my life. The way a coyote gets after a deer. Anything has a home range, whether it's a deer, a mouse, or whatever it is. But I've seen them get after a deer, and what they do is a deer, you know, a lot of deer hunters thinks a dog or something's going to run his deer out of the country. That ain't the case. A deer circles just like a rabbit does when something's after it. You know, if a deer would straight line out of the country, the coyote would never catch him. But he circles, and 3 or 4 coyotes will participate in this, and one will get after him and chase him, and another one will cut the gap and take over where that one's at and chase him in a circle, and the other one will hit on him, and they just keep after him till they wear him down, just like the dogs do with the coyote, you know. And I have several times heard a deer bleating or something when I was hunting and went over there, and obviously I'd run the coyotes off before I seen them, but they'll run that deer till he's tired, and then he'll just lay down, and they actually, I don't mean to gross people out or anything, but they'll start eating him alive. They just start on his rear end, and I've seen their whole rear ends going and laying there, you know. So I end up shooting it, you know. Should I? Probably not, you know. But it's just the right thing to do. If somebody's got to write me a ticket for shooting that deer suffering,
right,
go for it. You know, I don't care, you know. But yeah, they're just real adaptable.
Is there a season for them?
It's open year-round, but typically we like to run in the winter and the fall. I mean, we do summer hunt in the cornfields and the bottoms down in the, you know, country through the summer, you know, just take the dogs out and let them run and things like that. But, yeah, our season, I mean, there is no season on them. There is nighttime seasons for thermal calling, you know, with the squealing rabbit and things and stuff like that. Now, I ain't up on that because I don't do it, but there's certain times of year you can't hunt them at night. But
I see.
But yeah, you know, I mean, it's pretty much wide open season because the coyote really has no predator, even though we don't get many in the summer. You know, other than the dogs maybe catch one or something.
Give me your pitch of why you think it's important to have coyote hunters.
Well, you know, I mean, it's just anything needs to be kept in check. You know, Mother Nature is the roughest thing in the world, and cruel, my gosh, it's cruel. So if anything's not kept in check, and I don't care what it is, you know, if they get overpopulated, Mother Nature's going to come in with some kind of disease. You know, deer are experiencing CWD, you know, chronic waste disease and things when they get so thick. And when that happens, there's a lot of deer, and it's transmitted between each other. So the more deer there is, the more it gets transmitted. You know, It's no different than a coon and rabies or anything like that. You know, Mother Nature's going to keep things in check. So to keep a balance, I think it's important to try to control coyotes because they have no natural predators.
What's a typical, like when you go coyote hunting? You know, what's the process? Is it? I know I've seen you got different people in trucks.
Sure. Yeah.
Or how does it work?
About every county has their own little group. You know, typically you load up your dogs in the morning. Sometimes maybe you might spot one in the open and you send the dogs after it. Or most of the time the way we do it, we just send them into a thicket somewhere and they sort out a coyote and jump him and start running. You know, yeah, there's, in our group, it varies. You know, a lot of young guys come and go, and I enjoy teaching young guys, and some of them will stay because it's their passion just like it is mine. But the other ones move on after the newness wears off. You know, it's a chosen few that enjoys that end of the dog running and stuff like that, you know.
So you take your dog out, you go in a thicket or you see him and you let him out. How many dogs are you running at a time?
You know, in our group we've got probably 12, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, when we're out east of town, when there's ditches and stuff, we regulate how many dogs we turn loose because you don't really need 12 dogs. But when we get out west in the bigger country, out on the bluff and stuff, yeah, we'll surround the block.
When you say west, like west around here?
west around, Fielding area and the
Okay.
Bluff and between here and there and Kane and, different places. Yeah, we'll surround what we call a block, which is a road that surrounds the block, and we'll send dogs in from different directions. And typically, if the wind's not blowing hard out of one direction or something, and once the dogs jump, the other dogs that hasn't jumped will hear them and pull to them. So yeah, you might. And there again, a lot of guys rotate their dogs. They don't keep them till they get very old, but I keep mine. They're lifers. They're here forever. So it's hard for a 10-year-old dog to compete with a 2-year-old dog. So sometimes if he can't, he'll just go off on his own, find his own coyote, and start running it.
I'm not really a hunter per se. Tried to be a few times, but
Right.
just
Exactly.
it just didn't happen. I had other
Exactly.
things
Oh,
to
yeah.
do. Just never had the bug. My dad wasn't a hunter.
Sure.
He only had one eye, and it wasn't a shooting eye. So otherwise, I might have been. But when you are hunting these coyotes, so when you let that dog loose, is he just like bolting out when you let him out? Are they caged? The dogs caged up most of the time, or do
They're in their dog box. I mean, the worst thing I hate is for somebody to hold a dog all day. He needs to be out. He's going to learn more, and he's going to do what he does and things like that. So yeah, we turn them out, and I mean, it's not uncommon at all for them things to run 50 miles a day. I mean, they're just that dedicated, and it's what they love. And so to carry one around in a box all day, no, that's not my game.
No.
He deserves to be able to do what he's bred to do. And so yeah, we strive every time we go out. The dogs are on the ground. So yeah, I'm just not into hauling dogs.
No. Okay. And then how about at home where you keep them? Are they basically in a pen?
Yeah, I've got a fenced-in backyard. I've got a kennel with a roof over it, nice kennel. Like I mentioned, I got all insulated dog boxes and things. And about daylight in the morning, I let them out in the yard, run around, and then I put them up and feed them. Yeah, I let them out usually in two different groups, just no specific reason. Sometimes I let them all out once, but I let them out 3 times a day, daylight.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, just into the yard, and let them run around and morning, daylight, shortly after, noon, and then bedtime.
It sounds like these dogs take a lot of time.
They do. It's a commitment.
Yeah,
And that's where so many people get mixed up with young guys. I don't let young guys get dogs in our group because,
Yeah.
you got to be committed.
I mean, how many hours?
Oh,
many
Lordy.
hours
Oh,
a
Lordy.
week do you
Yeah.
spend taking care of your
Oh
dogs?
yeah. No, it's a lot. I mean, I just think they deserve. They're not getting much exercise in the yard, but yeah, they get back there and play. Our little house dogs go out and play with them and things like that. And yeah, it's a mental relief for them too to get out of that pen. So that's why I discourage young guys to get one. Oh yeah, I'm all about it. Well, they get a dog and before long it's hanging on the end of a chain somewhere, and that just aggravates the heck out of me. So they got to be committed for several years before I allow them to get a dog to participate in our group. At least that way.
Sounds like you're kind of the sheriff,
I
right?
am. Yeah.
Hey, Sheriff, we've run out of time on this episode, but we're going to pick up where we left off because we're going to get into the controversies of coyote hunting
Yes, sir.
that you've experienced.
And that's mainly what I want to get out there.
Yes, and we're going to do that this next episode. So we're going to sign off here, and we'll be back next episode. So
Okay.
we'll stop. And